Students, this is lesson 7.2. We're doing inscribed angles. And you want to have your notes turned here. Make sure you get a parent-guardian sign-off right here. We're going to dive right in. Let's recap what we learned last class. So our new vocabulary words: circle, chords, inscribe, circumscribe, inscribe, and the word frame. When you see the word frame, that means you're going to use post-it notes. So you need to have post-it notes very close at hand. Ready? I'm going to read this. It says, circumscribe a square around the circle. Circum means around. Scribe means draw. So it means to draw around a shape with the sides touching. Draw around a shape with the sides touching. So if we're going to do a square, the sides touch. I'm going to sketch it out. So you see the sides are touching, or technically tangent. So that square is circumscribed around the circle. Now, inscribe. In means in. Scribe means draw. So we're going to inscribe a triangle inside the circle. And that means to draw inside, corners touching. Or another way to say it is vertex on, arms in. Vertex on, arms in. That means the vertex of the triangle are on the circle, but the arms of the triangle, if you will, are inside the circle. But the corners have to touch from the inside. That means inscribe. Okay. Keep that word, star the word inscribe, because that's actually the main event of today. Okay, let's recap here. I'd like you to trace ACB. Trace ACB. ACB is a central angle because its vertex is on the center. Okay, so this is a central angle because it's connected to the center. And we learned last class that measure of a central angle to its arc the same. So if this is 102, that's 102. Okay, now we are going to draw an inscribed angle, ADB. Let's darken, DB. Now ADB, if you have a straight edge, get it out. ADB is what's called an inscribed angle. Notice the vertex is on the circle and the arms are in the circle. That's called an inscribed angle. An inscribed angle, the vertex is on the circle and the arms of the angle are inside the circle. Now I'm going to teach you how to do the absolute most important skill when it comes to inscribed angles, and it's called framing with post-its. Framing with post-its. So get your post-its handy. Ready? Okay. When I ask you to frame an angle, it's going to look like this. If I ask you to frame the angle ADB, Okay, there's D, there's ADB. If I ask you to frame it, you take your Post-its and you frame it around the angle D. That's called framing. When you frame, you always want to sweep the angle and then sweep the arc that the Post-its are grabbing. Okay, really important property. Central angles are equal to the arc. This angle, inscribed angle, is half the arc. So if this is 76, we go back this way. That's going to be 76 divided by 2. And we get 38. So an inscribed angle is always half the arc it's grabbing. An inscribed angle is always half the arc it's grabbing. So you just figured out if this is 76, back here this is 38. Okay, now we're going to switch. We're given, we want to find DB. So sweep DB. Put a question mark there. And now we're going to frame the angle that it's grabbing. So let's move your Post-its this way to CBD. And why? Because we want to find this arc right there. That arc right there, DC. And measure of an inscribed angle is half. So DC is half of 45. Write that out. DC is, excuse me, it's the other way around. No, 45. Excuse me. 45 is 1/2 the arc DC. Write it just like that. Does that make sense? Therefore, we times it by 2, and we get the arc DC is 90. Stop it.